Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow down 26, Nasdaq's off 22, S&Ps are off 5.5. Gold contract flat at $1,310 an ounce. You get silver down 15 cents at $19.94 an ounce. Platinum flat at $1,468 an ounce. Copper down 2.5 pennies at $3.14 a pound. Light sweet crude down 80 cents at $97.28 a barrel. Bonds, you have the 10-year down 4 ticks at 125.25. 30-year off 16 at 138.26. King dollar up 20 ticks, traded at 81.56. You got the euro down 18 at 133, and the yen is trading up 4 at 103.23. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Okay, so what we did yesterday is this. You had a failure on price. You had a failure on volume. That took it. The cash S&P, we got to 1944. You closed at 1933. That had got over the high, which is the C point of the 4th of August, closed underneath it, had lighter volume. Now, we pull back, and what you have out here today is that you're going to have light volume out here today. So what we're going to need as we go after the B point once again is you're going to need an increase in volume as this goes after the 1904.78 price point. Right now we're at 1930. If we take a look at the SPY, the SPY, what you have with the SPY is that you did 57 million shares out here today thus far. You know, yesterday we did 74, but this is going to need an expansion of about 180 million as it goes after the B point. The B point we're talking about, 193, it's a couple dollars down. You know, we'll see what happens once we get down there. I do expect that we are going to get it. Why? Because what has happened is that there is not a huge amount, but there's plenty of ABC structures on the way down that did take out the B point and did it with volume. We go over to the NASDAQ composite. We take a look at the NASDAQ composite. Same setup in the composite. Composite's down 19 bucks right now. If we take a look at the volume characteristic inside the composite with 50 minutes left in the marketplace, right now, you're dealing with, you will bang out about 1.5, 1.6 billion. It needs a lot more than that for lower prices to hold. If we take a look at the 3Qs, 3Qs right now are down to 20 million shares. Yesterday, you were up in 28. That's going to take a lot more. That B point is 60 million. So you're going to need a lot more selling on the way down for lower prices to hold. We look at the Russell 2000, the IWM. Same setup in the IWM. Now, the difference in the IWM, and the IWM has been the weakest indice, is that you're getting a little pump up in volume. Nothing heavy, but as to the other indices, there is a slight higher volume characteristic as it is going into lower price. Gold contract, what we have with gold is this. Gold made it to a price point today of $13.19. Right now, gold's flat. You know, what you did get out here, though, which is really nice, is that you got a slight expansion. Well, you have the swing high that was established on Friday of 13.2430 with volume. You get up to 13.19 today. Volume expanded somewhat, didn't hold price. That's saying it's going to run back up to the 13.24 once again. Now, what we have is divergence, and this is what the divergence is. If you take a look at the silver market, what we have with silver, SIU, is this. Silver came down last week pretty heavily. Now, the bad thing is that it got to 1976 and it had volume, meaning it had 56,000 contracts. What that was doing, however, was coming into the sign of strength from the 19th of June. You know, that's when silver went from 1987 up to 2097. That characteristic is saying, okay, the low wants to get tested, meaning 1976. We'll see how that gets tested. The divergence, however, is there, meaning that right now, silver was acting much better than gold for about 2 months. Silver gave it up in spades. Volatile on the way down. gold start getting traction, going topside. Inside the XAU and the HUI, both of those are showing that they want higher price. Now, this is what you have. On the ABC structure on the way up in both of these indices, folks, the way that they both went sideways from the 21st of June to right now, picking out a B point of an ABC structure on the way up it's really tough because there's so many points up there. Now, the characteristic of an ABC structure on the way up or the way down goes like this. You take the highest point, number one, then if it fails, well, great. It goes back underneath it, then you use the next swing point. What you'd want to do to have the most probability that you'd be correct in the analysis of what the ABC structure is look at the weekly. And that's the way that I'm looking at this right now. And it's real possible that we're going to get the volume we need on the weekly basis. It's not going to be, you don't need a huge amount of volume, but I suspect we'll find out how this plays out in the next 3 or 4 days because you are going over the B point. The B point on these is, I wouldn't take the B point as the week of the 11th. That was a spike. That's all that was. You can take a choice of what other ones were out there because we've gone there sideways for 8 weeks right now. Now, in that context of the XAU and the HUI, what you do have is that I suspect, number one, you're going to get up to the swing points of July. And if we break these on a weekly basis with volume, you're going to get over the swing points of March. And one of the equities out here that is screaming, and this is really, if you're in the metal market, this is a big deal, is Royal Gold. Royal Gold, folks, okay, is at 80.75. Now, watch what it's doing, though. This is where, whether you're a bull or a bear, you got to love it. And this is what it is. It's going after its high of 2012. Now, and this is where you can really bisect and dissect a sector and the equities you're in the sector. It doesn't have the volume. But guess what? It doesn't matter. What matters when you're looking at this is that you're at 80.74. Well, it matters, but here, I'll just walk you through this. It's at 80.74. The low of the high is 84.50. Your volume there is 22 million. Well, it wants to go up there. If, in fact, that's what we get, you're going to see Royal Gold pull all those equities up because Royal Gold is an indication where the actual physical gold market wants to go. So we'll see how we get up there. It's going up there with lighter volume. Guess what? This is what's so cool about swing points, how they talk, walk, and squawk. Because as it's going up there, you already get an indication it's not going to have the volume. That's on one basis. Well, on another basis, it shouldn't have the volume. Why? Because the takeoff from the bottom, the stock started off at $38. You're not going to go straight to $38 to $84 to $100. It doesn't happen. If you're a bull, what you want to see it hit the $84, go sideways for 2 or 3 more months, then make the run for it. If you're a bear, you want to see it go right into that bar, fail on price, fail on volume. Bottom line, inside that metals market right now, that is basically screaming, and there's one more that's screaming out there, that we're going to have higher prices, and it's EGO. Eldorado Gold right now, you're up at 844. Eldorado is also going for a higher swing point. The highest swing point is going for, this also doesn't have the volume, but guess what? It's saying, hey, it wants to run to 959. You get up to, you run up to those levels. What that's going to do is that's going to get the XAU, the HUI up to the March swing highs, and we'll see where the whole market shakes out, meaning once we get up to those levels. Go over to the bonds market, 10-year, 30-year. 10-year still refuses to back off. This 10-year is going to go to the moon. 10-year today, you're down 4 ticks. You're at 764,000 contracts, and that's after, pushing higher with 1.2 million contracts. That's building cause to get up over that whole ABC structure. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. The Dow right now is down 12. Nasdaq's down 19. S&Ps are off 4.5. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.